Yo, welcome back to Beardworks podcast, episode 22. Probably one of our biggest hyped up episodes we've had. PS5's here, finally.
Yes, finally. It's been, I don't know, I feel like this year's been so full on so far, and it just felt like it was around the corner. And with so many game delays, I think the consoles were sort of put on the back burner for a little bit because, Cyberpunk and Halo and what else was there? A few other games been pushed back. I think the PS sort of like just snuck up because we're all so busy, I guess, like you with uni, with me at work, you sort of just lose track of time, and all of a sudden it was upon us. And it was trade all your consoles in, get that best trading value you can at your local GameStop or EB Games, and then we got it in our hands, and we're lucky enough. Like I got day one, and you got day one as well.
Yeah, I did not think I was getting day one because I had a bit of issues pre-ordering on that bloody morning from hell. But day one, walked in, picked it up. Here you go. Here's Demon Souls. Tomorrow's COD. Boom. Launch week.
Yeah, the PS5 just sort of snuck up on us, and man, I don't know how I feel, man. It's been a good transition, I feel, except for my internet. I've been having like thick issues with my telecom provider, and I just struggled for the first 3 days downloading stuff. Like it felt like every time I went to do into rest mode on the PlayStation, I'd come back and it wouldn't have moved. It'd be like 99 plus hours to download to do an update or something like that, and it was terrible. I could not. My first few days of experience for the PS5. Not saying the console and the hardware was bad. It was just my internet was up shit creek.
Yeah, the only issues with lag I've had is bloody playing COD. I can be online, like getting invaded in Demon Souls or downloading updates, playing whatever, and it's fine. Put COD in, I'm stuttering, I'm skipping around. It's just, I don't know. COD needs something fixed, but we'll not talk about games straight away. No. The PS5, just on its own, the speed, the controller is the best thing about it. Yeah, like everything's perfect. It's unreal.
Yeah, as a whole system, it is quite a huge clunky system. And I remember watching a few people doing a review about it, talking about the Xbox compared to the PlayStation aesthetic wise, and they're saying like the Xbox sort of hides away because it's a plain box pretty much. They're saying where the PlayStation is like it's a thing that stands out in the room that it's next gen, it's here. And that's why it's so big and funny shaped, I guess. But I don't mind it. I have mine laying down because I don't really have enough space to have it standing up on my desk or even on my cabinet. So I know yours is standing up.
Yeah, mine's standing up, and I might lay it down because I'm scared one of the dogs is going to like jump into the cabinet or fucking knock it over.
It just has a big and heavy system. So I just laid it down, and it does look a bit funny. But in saying that, it's interesting looking system, but it's a bloody powerful one at that.
It looks like a spaceship from Destiny. I've flown into the tower on a PS5 it's massive.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, like we looked at some of the specs, obviously, and everyone knew, and they were comparing the two between the Xbox and the PlayStation and yada, yada, yada. But like some of the features within the PlayStation 5 itself are amazing. And one of the biggest things that we spoke about was the capture. And it's amazing. Like you don't need an Elgato, you don't need a capture card anymore because you can capture up to an hour's worth of gameplay in 4K or whatever, or 1080p, whatever you decide to record it in. And you can transfer it straight to a USB disk or hard drive that you plug into the front of the console. And it takes, I've just done it then. I did a 30-minute gameplay. I think it was 3 gigs, so it's not massive. But transfer it to USB within a couple of minutes, bang, plug it into my PC, bang, it's already there to use. It's crazy.
Yeah, the capture features, like, it snuck up on me how good it was going to be. Because, like, obviously on Xbox, like previous gen PS4, you can take screenshots and all this shit. But, like, the footage and even the quality of the PS5 screenshots, like, you've seen all the ones I've been sending of Demon Souls. I've been taking my dude on photo shoots, man. In Boletaria, just, like, full demon photo shoots. I'm loving it. We'll share on Twitter some screenshots me and Nathan have taken over the next few days just so you can see. But, yeah.
This is massive for us as well because we've been looking around at how to expand stuff and how to do more stuff, especially with our YouTube channel as well. Like gameplay is one of those ones where we thought we could really pitch into it and even one day and eventually do co-op stuff and have a bit of fun. There's definitely games out there that are capable of that. But now this makes it 10 times easier. We don't have to go out and spend a lot of money on a capture card now, which I was already planning on doing anyway. I can just record it straight from the PlayStation and we can put both our recordings together rather than just having it from one end. So this is awesome by PlayStation and also say Sony because now you literally have an all-in-one streaming box where you can do Twitch, You can do YouTube. And then you got the HD cameras, so you can really up your content by having that face camera. Yeah, and it's nuts. And I know that for a fact there's I think there's some in-game in console hardware that you can actually edit stuff. I'm not sure the extent of that. But I know that the HD camera has the ability to have like green screen and that behind it. So yeah, this is huge from PlayStation. Like, it's such a hidden feature. And that's not the best thing about it, I found. I mean, obviously we find that's one of the best things, but the controller itself, the DualSense controller, is top tier.
You read articles and you hear all these like pre-release videos about, this new controller is like the best thing since sliced bread. It's the tits, it's everything. It's all true until you hear those articles. You think, this is bullshit. It's gonna be a gimmick. You're gonna turn it off. You hold it in your hand. It's the best thing you've ever touched.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I looked on Twitter last night and I was just looking at like people talking about the PlayStation 5, and people were so happy with the controller, saying it feels like it's really next gen. It has a really expensive feel to it. Whereas the Xbox is pretty much more of the same from the last gen. And I guess maybe Microsoft really underplayed how important it is to upgrade your hardware in your hand, not so much in the system, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you look at the leap from 360 controllers to Xbox One controllers. That was massive.
Yeah,
because they fully redesigned it. They didn't do anything for this gen. They added a share button. Oh, great.
Yeah, it's just I love the DualSense controller. Feels really good. It is a little bit bigger than the DualShock 4, but it feels right. And yeah, the haptic feedback and the rumbling, it feels really smooth as well. Granted, it all comes down to the developers creating it for their game, because there are some times where it just feels like a generic rumble. Whereas if you get like an exclusive game like Demon Souls and even Godfall, it feels like really, really good. Like the combat, the sort of shake around the arena when you slam the ground with a weapon. Even sometimes I notice with some of the weapons you have to pull the right trigger a little bit heavier to actually put more pressure on it in order to actually hit the target. So yeah,
but, I reckon after developers and PS hearing the feedback of everyone universally loving the controller, every game's going to have haptics now. That's it. No game's not going to have it. It'll be a detriment to their game not having it.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things that we spoke about last night in our group chat with the other guys was that they're looking at doing Steam support as well now. So you can use it on your PC with all of that kind of haptic feedback and everything. So developers are going to think, holy crap, this is awesome, because right now I'm using a Wolverine tournament, like a Razer tournament controller. It's like a high-end gaming controller with like paddles at the back and stuff that you can connect to pretty much. I tried it on the PS4, it didn't work, but the PC and Xbox it does. And that's a really good controller. But now I'm thinking to myself, well, if I've got the PS5 like DualSense controller over there, I'm obviously going to start using that for gaming on PC, because it's so smooth. Like when I obviously choose between keyboard and controller, because there's games that you could really take control of that. Like I think Doom would be a great game for that kind of that controller.
Oh yeah, the haptics would be wild on that. Even the audio that comes out of the controller would be wicked on Doom.
But yeah, going back to what I found on Twitter last night, I found there was one guy who was adamant that he was like the PlayStation 4, so the DualSense controller, I should say, is so lackluster compared to the new Xbox controller.
What?
He was saying something like the Xbox controller feels more premium, all this kind of stuff. I mean, the DualSense has a lot of more weight to it and stuff like that. I did find like on last gen, the Elite controllers they're more premium, but you're paying like $200 for the controller, Australian dollars. This is.
DualSense is better than an Elite.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think there's two ways you look at it. Elite controller has like all the paddles and all that kind of stuff, the interchangeable stuff, that's why it's called the Elite controller. But it doesn't have that kind of stuff. Hopefully, we're thinking that Xbox would probably bring out some kind of controller to rival the DualSense maybe one day. So the DualSense, but the best thing about the DualSense is that it's just the standard one that comes in the box, and it comes with all this cool stuff and features inside the controller. Now they could bring out an Elite controller version for the PlayStation and have the paddles and all that kind of stuff attachable. So obviously that's like scuff control and stuff like that. They sort of look at that kind of stuff. But yeah, overall, like the DualSense controller is like one of the biggest features, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing with that controller.
Oh, that dude that said the new Xbox controller is better than the DualSense, he's got to be the most brain dead detached brainstem unit. Like, that dude's never touched a controller in his life. He's only saying the Xbox is better because he probably didn't get a PS5.
Yeah. Either way, it all comes down to your personal experience, and if he feels that way, that's his own choice. But we're loving it, obviously, and all the guys all our friends group that have one. Because how many Xbox PlayStations do we have in our group? We got
Five.
five. Yeah, five. So we've all, that's pretty lucky considering there's like what 8 of us that sort of wanted to get it. 5 of us got it. That's pretty lucky, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far so good. Like the DualSense controller. Yeah, I'm just super impressed. And even like we're talking, like, sent through the group chat, what did everyone feel about the PS5? And Steve came out and said his little bits and pieces about the software design, performance, and then games. Games are massive at the moment.
That group never really agrees on everything you like as a whole.
No,
but a PS5, we all pretty much hyped it. That's
it. So far, just. And one of the coolest things though is with the PS Plus membership, you get all those games which we spoke about in previous podcasts or episodes, I should say. And yeah, straight away. I mean, I downloaded Persona 5 because I wanted to play that. Played an hour a bit into it, not too bad. Probably have to kick on for that. But the other game I went back and downloaded was God of War, and I've turned on the most cinematic kind of version of it, and turned off the HUD and stuff like that. And wow, it looks gorgeous. It looks like it's a PS5 ready game already. Like. I was saying the other day, like I feel like Demon Souls and God of War are the best 2 PS5 games at the moment, like visually.
Yeah, I haven't tried God of War because I've just been sucked into COD and Demon Souls, but I have downloaded Days Gone and Persona 5 because we want to talk about some PlayStation Collection games in the future. But I haven't even booted them because I've just been stuck in those 2 games. Demon Souls is incredible. It's like Bloodborne level.
Yeah, well,
that's big.
Visually, it looks amazing, and like you said, your screenshots you've been sending through, like that one where it's like it looks like the gates of hell sort of thing.
Yeah,
like it just shows the armor, like, and the lighting on it, and what TV are you playing? You're playing on 4K?
Yeah, 4K 60.
Yeah, like, and it looks so slick. Like I'm so impressed, and you weren't even playing. You were playing on performance mode too, not on like cinematic mode.
No, I was on cinematic.
Oh, you were on those ones.
I just don't have HDR.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like on your phone, your iPhones would have it. So
your
normal phones have it all. So you'd see the best quality on your phone anyway.
It looks so good.
Yeah, just the surface imperfections on armor and stuff. Like you can see the dings and the dirt, and like it feels like your suit is lived in.
Yeah,
like it's not just like. It's not like a video game where you get a suit of armor and you walk around glowing because you're that shiny and buffed and chrome.
Yeah.
It's like a real suit of armor.
That's what I feel like Godfall's a bit like that. It's that very shiny kind of game. And this is probably one of my gripes. I spoke about Godfall. I was pretty keen to play it. I am still keen to play it, but I'm just not sure if it's worth the price tag that they're asking for it. It definitely feels like just a one. I mean, it's hard because they're sort of putting it down to as like a game that you have to repeatedly play the missions to get better loot, to gear yourself up and get into a better position to fight the next enemy. But,
exactly what I said the other week. Destiny Light. It's like a shitty Destiny with swords.
But that's the thing. The story isn't compelling enough for me. And I've played a little bit now, and probably next week when we talk about Godfall a bit more in depth, we'll have gameplay to it. I've recorded a little bit, so. But yeah, like that's very similar to what you were talking about. How you feel like the suit's lived in Godfall. You sort of like you obviously. Like a demigod kind of thing, and like your armor is just constantly glowing in chrome and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. It's one of those games, but I feel like it definitely is. Every generation they bring out a new game for the new consoles, and it's just like to showcase how good the consoles run and look. I feel like Godfall is one of those games, which is a real shame because I think it could have been better and more.
Godfall is this generation's Order 1886. It's just a tech demo for the first release week.
Yeah, so I was pretty. Yeah, I can't tell you my full review of it because I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to return it, wait for it to go on sale, and come back and play it. Obviously, other people might love it. That's their own personal preference. But for me, I've just got so many other good games to play at the moment, and I just don't want to put all my time into this when I could spend a month, maybe next year, playing it when I get it for like $60 or something like that, Australian, that is.
I'll definitely. I don't know. I'll get Godfall and Miles Morales when they're in like the cheap table at EB Games, because I want to play Miles Morales. I'm not paying $100 just for a 10-hour experience. It's not happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
I'll
plenty
wait.
of other good games at the moment. Like we just spoke about, Persona 5 and God of War. Those two good games, like and Days Gone, like these are all PlayStation classics. Bloodborne's on that list too. So you
I'm
can
doing
play
Demon Souls on now. I can't have two From games. I'll put a bullet
get
in my
crazy.
head. But
So
the Bloodborne in the what is it? The PS collection. It has the DLC. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think it'd be everything at once. Yeah,
Yeah, you get the old hunters in that. That's something we never did.
we can definitely go back and play it. I wonder if you could
Oh,
transfer.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
you'd be
you
able to
save
transfer.
transfer. But I
Yeah.
finished it, so I'd have to start again in New Game Plus.
Oof, that'd be a tough one.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, our experience so far has been really good. Obviously, like bar my internet problems, which just gave me frustration and anxiety issues because I just want to sit down when I had a bit of time to actually play it. But yeah, like we said, the capture features is awesome. We're loving that. The controller is awesome. And yeah, just okay, well, let's talk about COD now. Now, you've experienced some crashes, haven't you?
Only the first day. Only one. Because when I put it in, I had to sign into my Activision account. I clicked on like the thing, like click on the Activision, link your account, whatever. Did that. Was typing my stuff in. Game crashed. Got a storage error. I had to report.
Yeah.
And then I haven't had anything since. Like I've obviously had a little bit of lag here and there, but that's just my internet being shit.
But we've also had people within our friends group have crashing problems. And I think it is not just us. It's obviously normally there's a bigger issue behind it. I had that storage problem as well. I think day one. I think they've released an update. Maybe it's fixed in the background with some firmware or something like that. But I know for a fact that some of our other mates have had problems having with COD crashing and being kicked from the game and stuff like that. But I'm hoping this is all just like that first launch period, because there's no matter what happens, there's always going to be consoles that are faulty or that have need firmware updates and stuff like that. So you just need to be patient and wait for them to put that out. Obviously, if the game keeps crashing, it might be something wrong with your system, or something wrong with the internet connection.
Yeah, the worst thing I've had is I'll go to click on like an app like YouTube or a game or something, and it will say, "Cannot open app at this time," and I have to restart my like station. I've had that a couple times, but I feel like this is just launch week bugs. Like this is all going to go real quick.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm going to wait like a month or a few months to get it before."
You're definitely going to wait if you didn't get one.
You're going to have to wait, yeah, because obviously there's no consoles available. But yeah, there's a lot of people saying that they're hang out and wait, so then like they can get it all under control. But there's plenty of times and people that have bought day one editions of consoles, controllers, blah 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 blah, and they've lasted forever. Like I got the Xbox One X when it first got released. Obviously, that was a few years into the Xbox One release, but yeah, it was fine. I had no problems whatsoever. It was just a good running system. So it all comes down to if you get the luck of the draw. If you get like a faulty system, then that's just unfortunate. And the unfortunate thing right now is that if you have a controller, camera, headset, even the console itself, if any of those break down and you need to send them off, you're not going to get your console back or that little accessory back for a little while because of how busy they are putting out consoles.
Yeah, I had a headset on pre-order. That's been delayed. I don't know when I'm getting that now.
So what are you using at the moment? Because you and Steve had
just
problems.
My shitty like 3.5mm jack, like Astro ones. I'm wearing them right now for this.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've got my Steel series right now that has the 3.5mm jack, and that connects straight in, has no problems because it's not wireless; it's all wired. And it's the same with my newer headphones, which are super expensive headphones, but they recently released a gaming boom mic for it, and a 3mm jack as well. So nice. I've been using that. So that's really good because that's got really good bass. It's been really good for Godfall. Like Godfall's got some really good sounds and music. That's one of the two things that I really enjoyed about it. But we can get onto God.
I know you've played a little bit of Demon Souls, but once you start getting into boss fights, the music's going to blow your dick off. It's like the best orchestral, classical, like gothic kind of like orchestra shit. It's like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
No, I'm definitely so. For everyone listening right now, I've either going to have Godfall for another day, or I'm going to trade it in today. Which is as of today, it's the 17th or the 11th. Only because, like I said, it's just not worth it at the moment, and I do have that 7-day return policy, which is what I want to do because it's just not worth. I just don't have time to play all these games that are available right now. And speaking of other games I've got available, I've literally, like I spoke to you about a while ago, Nick, about purchasing the Ubisoft like premium kind of thing where you just pay $20 a month and you get all their latest games.
Yeah.
Obviously, I started Legion, Watch Dogs, and I actually really enjoyed Legion. I started off pretty well, but it's one of those games where because you can play as multiple characters, it's hard to sort of grasp on what character you want to play, or like it doesn't feel like a special story when you can play with multiple people, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, when I play a video game, I like to me and my character are like a tight knit unit. I want to know everything about them. I want to be in their head. And if you switch in every 5 minutes, like who cares? There's no consequences.
I'm playing with permadeath, which is fun. But like I still haven't had. I've been times where I've been caught or fallen from a bad height, and I'm just injured. I don't actually die. So I'm like, okay, this is different, I guess. But yeah, I haven't been able to go back to it yet because of the whole launch window and stuff like that. I just haven't had a chance to get back and play it, and lack of time. But in saying that, I did start Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and that feels so good as well. Like they're both really good games. Like, don't get me wrong. The one thing I had is I'm playing on my PC, and I'm playing with my Samsung G7 LCD monitor, which is a 1440p HDR, like really good monitor. I found that when I was playing Assassin's Creed, like I just couldn't get that smooth, crisp movement. Like the frames I felt like the frames were capped at like 90 or like even 60. It just wasn't as smooth. Whereas I found with Watch Dogs Legions, I had some smooth frame rate. Like, I had no problems whatsoever. But they're like from the same they're from the same company, you know what I mean? And I just thought they'd be on the same level of visually, like obviously performance. So I'm not sure I'm gonna have to tweak my monitor or my PC settings, but I just can't get Valhalla to have the smoothness of Legion. And I'm wondering if Legion's very plain and simplistic, what with neon lights and stuff in London, whereas Valhalla's like a lot of foliage, and like mountain tops and stuff like that. So maybe that just takes a little bit more out of the system.
Yeah, I don't know if 90 frames per second is your only problem, you're probably having a pretty good life. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I like boosting up after playing Doom at like 240 frames per second. I'm just like, that's like my pinnacle now. I want to try and get to.
And Doom's pretty crazy as well. Far out.
Yeah, with Doom Eternal.
Doom 3. If they do a Doom 3, again, Doom's too popular.
Yeah,
on PS5 would be wild.
Yeah, the games look just gorgeous on the PlayStation. I really want to go back and install the Last of Us Part 2. I know it's not a game that you probably won't go back and play, but there's some games there that I want to go back and play and just experience again. God of War is one of them, but maybe just chuck on easy difficulty and just like have on cinematic mode with no HUD and just go through and smash and get some nice, screenshots.
There's even a game mode. There's a difficulty in God of War, and they're below easy. It's just called like story.
Yeah.
Like it's real,
Well, I booted it up and I just went, I went to the hardest difficulty and said, just give me God of War. And I literally got stuck on that first little bit when you and Atreus are running and they get jumped by those demons things.
You played the whole game on Give Me God of War, didn't you?
I played on the second hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but all I know is that I played with no HUD and it was like difficulty mode. And the only time I noticed when my health was low was when my controller was red.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to get used to it, but I loved it. I loved the experience. I think as everyone did. But definitely going to go back and get some nice screenshots of that game and probably just smash that out again because it looks beautifully done as like its upgraded version, I guess you could say. But yeah, I mean, well, let's just move on to one other thing. And let's we've spoken about COD and how people there's a lot of people that aren't really impressed by the new COD. There's a few steps back. Your experience so far is that you love it.
I'm a Treyarch fan though. I'm always going to like Treyarch.
And so, what frames? What are you playing at? Are you playing 120 or?
No, because I don't have HDMI 2.1 TV. I've just got 60 frames.
Yeah, and you find it fine, no problems whatsoever.
Perfect, man. I'm not having any issues.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah. Like,
have you you've even touched the campaign yet?
No. I'm level 20 on multiplayer, and I've done one round of zombies. Like, I've been on Demon Souls, man. Like, I've just been stuck on that game. I love it.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got long now for Cyberpunk. I think it's the 4th or the 9th of December, I think. So we're under a month away from Cyberpunk now as well, which I think is going to do well good for the game. I'm going to get it on PC. That's just my personal preference. Because obviously we do have limited space on the console at the moment because they haven't really said what SSD is the best to buy to upgrade your storage, unfortunately. So you sort of
I've got 6 games on my PS5, and I've still got 360 gig left. So it's
Yeah.
not as bad as people making it out to be. But we don't have Warzone yet. That's going to be massive.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think now. So Warzone doesn't get updated until December, well, with the Cold War weapons. So that should be interesting. I wonder how that big, that's going to be ridiculously big. I can't imagine.
If it's too big, I'm just going to not play Warzone, man. I don't care about it.
I'm just hoping they change the map up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's just some games. We got plenty of games to talk about now over the next few weeks. And that's our plan, is that we really want to start showcasing our gameplay on our YouTube channel. So for people that are listening to us on our Spotify and our Google Podcasts and our Apple Podcasts, if you do choose and you do like listening to us, go watch our video or listen, sorry, I should say, on our YouTube channel, because obviously that gets us a bit of momentum on there, as well as we're going to have a bit of gameplay in the behind the scenes, stuff while we're talking about the game at that time. Obviously, with PlayStation's new capture ability, it's going to be awesome. So we can just chuck in bits and pieces, and you can sort of understand where we're coming from when we want to talk about things. And eventually, we'll probably do some playthroughs of some games. Like, it's just tough with our limited time. That's why our episodes have been a bit scattered over the last month. We've just been struggling to get time together to record, and obviously with my internet problems, doesn't make it really easy when we're 2.5 hours away from each other. So.
Yeah. So we're going to have some like gameplay behind the podcast. We probably won't have like if there is any game audio, it's going to be super quiet because it's just behind the podcast. But give people on YouTube something to watch.
Yeah.
So like whatever game we're talking about, we'll try to like cut in like during the video and stuff. But it'll just be a little extra. Podcast isn't going to change that much, but at the moment,
we're
trying to figure all this out.
Yeah, we're just setting ourselves up, hopefully, and trying to get a better increase our quality of our show, I guess, our podcast. So, yeah, bear with us. Obviously, we do apologise for not getting our episodes out on the right time every week for the last couple of weeks, but please understand that one of us has uni and the other person works 2 jobs. So, when saying that, you're running around flower with your parents yourself. So
yeah, I'm working in the shop bloody all the time, man. Piss me off. I'm sick of flowers.
But yeah, in saying that, can you please do the usual? We sort of haven't got much of a Twitter following, but if you want to engage with us and ask us questions whatsoever, whoever's listening, go follow us on Twitter. And yeah, we're just really keen to keep pushing on. And with the PS5 now, we've got a bit more content to talk about. Obviously, we'll have movies and TV shows eventually again as well. But right now, the in thing is the PlayStation, and we're loving it. So we're just going to keep talking about that at this stage.
It'll probably be games for the rest of the year, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's any big movies coming out that we're really super keen on, except for anime movies. So there is some. Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now. Demon Slayer, the movie, has reached number 4 in the box office of all times of anime movies, and that's behind Howl's Moving Castle and what was the other one? Spirit Away.
Yeah.
Which are 2 of the biggest movies in film history for animation. So yeah, if they're obviously, I'm thinking because of COVID a little bit that they're sort of, that's why Japan's sort of kicking off with their movies, because maybe they open up select theaters, so they're just everyone just poured in to get out.
I don't even know what the streaming is like in Japan. I don't know if they've got some things set up like Mulan, maybe kind of.
Yeah, all I know is we got Demon Slayer movie coming. We'll be able to watch it soon. We've also got the 3rd and final part of Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel, which is massive. And then we have this is crazy. This blows my mind. This was happening before the end of the year. And then we also have Attack on Titan season 4. So huge.
Attack on Titan comes out when the dub comes out.
Well, yeah, for you, but the subs for me is on the 7th of December, which I'm so keen for.
Yeah.
And then next year we got My Hero season 5, I think. So what a time to be alive with anime, I guess. But yeah, anyways, that's something we can talk about another time. Like I said, follow us on our socials. Just listen to us wherever you listen to. We just really appreciate you guys just coming in and having a bit of a listen to us talking smack most of the time, and not always knowledgeable, but just loving what we're doing. So, Nick, any final words?
No, I'm going to get off and go play Demon's Souls.
Yeah, I might just have a look at a recording and maybe, my gameplay recording of Godfall and see what I can splice up from that. So anyways, guys, take care. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week, or listen to us next week.
Peace out.